Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a beautiful, glorious day. If you don't know who I am, I'm Ashley Watson. I'm a psychotherapist turned spiritual life coach, and I am so beyond thrilled and excited to talk about comparison-itis today. If you are watching, give me some hearts. Let me know you're here. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And if you feel called, please share this video because we're going to be talking about real deal-ish today. Hey, Shannon, how are you? It's so good to see you. Yes, I love the hearts. So I am I don't know what's going on today in terms Jupiter went into Scorpio. I know there's a lot of funky stuff going on in the universe, all good stuff. But we had the full moon last week. I don't know, but I'm totally feeling it today. I don't know about you guys. If you are, let me know in the comments. What happened for me today was I was on the Facebook, I was on Instagram, I was looking at stuff, and I blah 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 and all this stuff, and all of a sudden I realized how much time I am spending and we are all spending as a collective comparing ourselves to others. And it's so subconscious, you're just looking through people's stories, or you're scrolling through your Instagram, or you're seeing what people are doing, or how's this person doing on the Facebook, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, a half hour's gone by and you feel like poop, right? And it's why am I not living in Bali and living my dream life? And why don't I have a relationship? And why don't I have a baby? And why am I not married? And why am I not skinnier or fitter? Or, why don't I have a Chanel bag and flying to Paris on a private jet or something? I don't know. All of a sudden, and it's so subconscious. And I think that we are just getting so totally bombarded, right, with social media. And we're feeling bad about ourselves, and we don't even know why, and we don't even know it's happening. We don't even know why. And so I think and what I realize is that this is, social media makes it much more evident. But at the same time, I started thinking about this sort of comparison game and what we do to ourselves. And then I started thinking about my own life. And I realized probably the vast majority of my life, and tell me if this is true for you, but the vast majority of my life, I probably wished I was someone else. Or maybe not someone else in particular, but I wished I was skinnier. I wished I was prettier. I wished I had straighter hair. I wish I went to a better school. I wish that I had more money. I wish that I was so busy comparing myself to other people around me that I would just be putting myself down in this very subconscious and sometimes very conscious way, right? I wish I was more popular. I wish I was, driving a fancier car or whatever, right? That, when we are doing that, we're not taking any time to appreciate what it is that we have and figure out a way that we can do what we want. And what happens is we wish that we are, or that we have all these things, and then we try to get these things the way other people have gotten these things, and then we feel even worse about ourselves. And why? Because we're not getting these things because we want these things. We're getting these things because we think that these things are going to bring us joy, or these things are going to bring us happiness, or these things are going to make us this. But it's because that we want to be that person that we don't even know what's going on with them. And so we get into this crazy cycle of more is better and more is more, and putting ourselves down. And then we become so disconnected from ourselves and who we are and what it is that we want and what it is that we were actually put on this planet for. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? If you guys know what I'm talking about, give me a 1, or raise your hand or something in the comments, because I think that this is a really serious conversation that needs to be had. So I was having all of these thoughts going on in my brain today, and then I was scrolling through my Instagram, and I forget who posted it. I wish I should have written it down. It's like girls empowerment or something, I don't know. And they said 50% of girls wish that they were somebody else, right? 50% of girls wish that they were somebody else. And I was like, what? I was like, first of all, synchronicity from the universe, right? Because like, this is exactly what I've been thinking about all day. And then like, hello, 50%. And I was like, honestly, I think it's probably more, but 50% is plenty, right? You know, I think that for me, like what's happened and what I see with my clients is that we have all of these standards and we have all of these things and we have all of these rules of like what's going to make us happy and how does happiness work and what does happy mean anyway. And then when we don't achieve what we think that we were going to achieve by the time that we were going to achieve it, we like feel like absolute poop. Right? We feel like absolute crap about ourselves. And then we think that the universe isn't working for us. And then we spin ourselves into this depression, into this anxiety. And we like totally lose track of who we are and why we are here and whatever is our own authentic truth. And here's the thing that I am going to tell you today. And that is there is nobody else on this planet that is you. And so while X person may have X success or X materialistic things or X relationship or X business, whatever, like you can't have that because you are not that person. The only thing that you can do is create a life based on you, your desire, your innate authentic desires that make you feel good, right? Not because that person has it, but because it's coming from you, right? That's the only thing that you can do. And what's beautiful about that is that in this experience, like that we call life, like you have the opportunity to create it on a daily basis. Right? So it's like you see all these people on the Instagram, you see all these people on the Facebook, and they're, you know, first of all, like there's like the social media life and there's like the real life, right? My phone, I was like busy, you know, people see like me cooking and stuff like that on Instagram. I was going to show this, like I totally like made a huge big mess and disaster, which I'm sure people don't think that I do, but I'm like a huge mess, you know, and I'm going to show it today on Instagram just because I'm thinking about all this stuff. But my phone was just charging. I was like, you know, those times when like you can't, like I needed, like I was making dinner and I had this small pot and I needed really a bigger pot and like all this stuff. And I was like trying to transfer the pots and stuff was going everywhere. And like that's real life. But like people are not posting about like crap like that because, you know, some people want to see it, but not a lot of people want to see it. But so it's like, how do we start really living, owning, and understanding what our authentic truth is? There is nobody, even if you are an identical twin, there is no one on this planet who has had the same exact experiences as you. So even if you're an identical twin, like I don't know how many I know that I'm friends with on Facebook, but if you are one, like that's really interesting. But at the same time, like you are you and you have had your experience and they haven't had it. So like there's nobody else on this planet. And once we start to realize and understand that there is like 1 in like 14 trillion chances that you are here on this planet at this moment in time, like you can understand how miraculous that is, that you can take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for that and say, you know what? Hell freaking yeah. Like there is no one on this planet who is like me. And I am going to effing own that. And I am going to live my life and I am going to share my authentic truth, because when I do that, that's when I have the ability to create magic. That's when I have the ability to make miracles. That is when I have the ability to really freaking do what I was put on this planet to do, right? We are all put on this planet to share some version of love and authenticity, right? And so the only way that we can do that is really owning the experiences of who we authentically are in our own individuality, right? There is no one on this planet, then people might have similar experiences, but no one on this planet has had the same experiences as me, and no one on this planet has had the same experiences as you, right? And that's a really beautiful thing, right? And why do we become inspired? This is bothering me, it's like it's backwards. We become inspired because we see somebody who has been through a challenge and has been able to overcome it. And that unique challenge, although it might be similar to ours, it is unique to them. And the ways in which they get through it, although they may help us, they're going to be unique to them. And what it is that you need to be able to make it through your unique challenge is going to be unique to you. And your story of resilience is going to be unique to you. And in that story, you have the ability and the capacity to inspire so many other people. I see Kiara is saying, preach. It's so true. This is so true. And so when we start to really own and understand and take accountability and responsibility for the miracle that we are in this life right now, then we have the ability to stop comparing ourselves to others. It is time for you to shine. Like, don't let other people, sharing their whatever prevent you from being who you are, right? You may be able to have the lifestyle that you want, but it's going to be the lifestyle that you want, not the lifestyle that they're saying is perfect for them, right? Don't let their don't let their idea of perfection define what is perfection for you. Only you can do that, right? What somebody's, goal or income goal for their month, right, does not have to be the income goal for you for your month. Like it might not work. It might not make sense. Like we have to start owning and understanding who it is we are so that we can really live the life that we want to live. Oh, I'm so glad, Shannon, you need to hear this today. Oh, I'm so glad. I honestly, I'm talking about this because, I also needed to hear this today because I felt myself doing this, and I was like, if I'm doing this, somebody who meditates and practices yoga every single day and is very aware, and if I'm feeding into all this stuff, I can't even imagine what it's like for people who are maybe a little less aware or just don't have the wherewithal to have this conversation, right? I think that we are oftentimes so ashamed to say that I'm comparing myself to others because we know we shouldn't do that, right? We know we shouldn't compare ourselves to others. We know that we should be excited for other people's successes. And I am excited for other people's successes. I'm not taking that away from myself or from them. When other people get something great, I am excited for them. But at the same time, I'm we have to not let their definition of success and their definition of what it is that they want in their life and their definition of an ideal life impact what we know to be true about our lives. Right? I was talking, I forget if I'm saying this story again, but I was talking with a client of mine yesterday, and she was telling me about how she's, 34 years old, and, she just broke up with her boyfriend, and she's not married yet, and all of her friends are married, and they have babies, and all of this crazy stuff, and what happens? She feels like crap. Right? There are other things in her life that are good, but in an overall sense, she feels like crap because she can't have the relationship that she wants because all this stuff. And it's also society's pressure of you have to live this way. You have to do this. You have to do that. And you know what? It's total bullshit. You don't have to do freaking anything. What you have to do is be freaking you. That is all you have to do. The more that you peel back the layers and you peel back the fears of who you are, of being, not who you are. Peel back the fears of being who you are, Like the more you're going to open up into the life that you're supposed to have. Like it's really like that freaking simple. So the more that you, so I'm going to say that again because I think it was so good, is that the more that we work through the fears of not presenting ourselves as who we are, is like how we actually become who we are and how we actually get whatever it is that we want or whatever it is that we're looking for. You guys know what I'm talking about? I need a sip of water. I've been talking so much. What's the take-home message that I have for you today? Kara says, it's so big for me right now, comparing myself to all my friends, where they are and what I'm doing right now. I know, Kay. I know, girl. Girl, I know. I know. And I think that, like, we have to take the shame around. Shame around. We have to take the shame, like, out from like comparing ourselves to others, because like the reality is, like, whether we do it consciously or subconsciously, we're all effing doing it. Okay, we're all freaking doing it. But the more we can become more conscious of it, the more we can become or aware of it, the more we can stop ourselves from doing it, and the more we can not allow that comparison to prevent us from living our authentic truth. Is the mission. Like, that is the game. That is the mission. So if you can stop comparing yourselves to others, you're not going to fear as much being your authentic truth and sharing that truth with the world. The more that you share your authentic truth with the world, the more it is that you are going to have more of what you want, not what somebody else has or what somebody else wants or what somebody else needs to be happy. Again, don't let their idea of perfection or their idea of their ideal life influence what it is that you know to be true for you, right? It's you. And the more you try to have their life, like, the more unhappy you're going to be, because it's not what you want. If it is, there might be remnants of what you want, but you can't necessarily get it the way that they got it because you haven't had the experiences that they have had that have helped them to get them what they want, and blah, 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 right? You have to do it your way and be truthful to that. And that is exactly what I help my clients do, is like to help them get rid of like this comparison-itis, like this like total Instagram, like Facebook addiction of like making ourselves feel like absolute shit, right? When we're comparing ourselves to others and what their businesses are doing and what their families look like, and are they pregnant, and are they breastfeeding, and are they, healthy and vegan and meat eaters, and, I don't know, whatever, we have to stop. I help my clients stop doing that and get closer and more connected with their authentic truths so that they can use the power and the forces of the universe, right? The law of attraction, to pull in what it is that they want. That's why it's not working for you. If you're using the law of attraction, you're not able to attract what you think you want because you're basing it on somebody else's truth. Like, that's why. It's because it's not what you freaking want. And that's why it can be so goddamn hard, right? And the reality is that living and getting what you want does not have to be hard. In fact, it shouldn't be hard. If you guys listen, I don't know if you guys listen to Abraham Hicks. I was listening to them recently, and they said something about, the fact that you believe, I'm going to mess it up a little bit, but like the fact that you believe that you have to work to get what you want is a belief, right? It's a limiting belief. According to Abraham Hicks, right? The reality is that you like the story of like, I work so hard to get this, I work so hard to get that, right? We like that story. If we stop liking that story and we start creating a new story, and we start being closer and closer to our own authentic truth, and we start acting from a place of love, and we start sharing that love with the world, like, there is no stopping you. There is no stopping you, and there's no stopping what it is that you are going to be able to call in, like, once you are living from that place and from that capacity. Like, you are going to be able to live your dream life, not somebody else's. You're going to be able to, and in that space, you have to share your authentic truth, not somebody else's. You have to share what it is that you desire, the story that you have overcome, your story of resistance, of resistance, your story of resilience, not somebody else's. And as you do that, you are creating your dream, not somebody else's. I love you guys so much. I would love to talk more on this. I think that I probably will, but this is what I'm particularly fired up about today. So this is what I'm sharing. I hope that this resonates with you guys. I'm so glad Kiara made you feel so inspired. Very true, very well said. So happy, Marilla. So if you guys have questions about this, if there's something that's coming up for you, if you are looking to have a breakthrough and you're looking for a coach who is ready to dive in deep with you, schedule a 30-minute free consultation with me. I would be beyond the moon excited to help you live out your authentic truth so that you can live a life that is based on your truest desires. It's filled with love, it's filled with joy, and it's filled with the abundance that is in alignment with your truth. So I will put a link in the comments below, but it's www.ashleyewatson.com/schedule, and definitely schedule. It's a complimentary call. I love you guys to the moon. I think this is so important. I know I want to have more conversations about this because we need to release the shame of comparison and just start really owning our truth. Just start doing it. And I know that if you're here and you're watching this, that you are ready for this, because you wouldn't have stopped the scroll on the Facebook if you weren't. And I would love to talk to you. Book a 30-minute free consultation with me, and we'll talk about how we could possibly work together so that you can really start owning your truth and living your freaking life. Live your life, not somebody else's. Yours. Thank you so much. You guys are the bomb. I love you. Bye.